Okay, and hey, we are officially live tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly get us started by sharing my screen tonight. Just give us a little jumping off point while we're waiting for all of our students to trickle in. So, of course, first off, welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Pennsylvania students, sponsored by the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thanks for joining. Very brief housekeeping before we get started. Please feel free to use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. This is one of our many different sessions happening. We'd really love to see you back, so please feel free to check out the full schedule at pacac.org. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, pacac.org. And with that, it is my pleasure to go ahead and turn it over to our presenter tonight.
Thank you, Katie. So hello to everyone, and if you are joining us tonight or in the future, just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to Full Sail University's presentation. My name is Emily Miller. I'm here with Full Sail to tell you all about our school tonight. To start off, if you have ever heard of us before, you already know that you would like information, you're more than welcome to scan this QR code. Otherwise, I'll show it again toward the end of the presentation, and you'll be more than welcome to scan it again. This will take you to a website that will allow you to fill out some information request information and just get a little bit more information from our admissions team. So moving in, I am going to start off by showing you a quick video that'll introduce you to a little bit more of who we are and what we do. So as you can see in that video at the very end, it says, if you are serious about your dream, we'll take your dream seriously. That's Full Sail's motto. We strongly believe that if there is something that you really, really love and you want to do in the entertainment industry, be it making video games or making music or even being a business person, if you have the drive and you're willing to make it happen, then we are going to do whatever we can to help you accomplish that dream. So let's move into talking about the school. I do want to let you know that if you have any questions throughout the course of the presentation, feel free to drop those in the Q&A. If you are joining us later, you are more than welcome to email me at elmiller@fullsail.com, and I'll answer any questions that you have through that. So we'll go ahead and get started. I mentioned that we are an entertainment, media, art, and technology school. We are located down in Orlando, Florida, or at least very close to it. I'll talk about our exact location in just a few minutes. But all the programs that we offer are related to entertainment. So you can see here we have music and recording, we have video game degrees, art and design, film and TV, we have technology, media and communications, business, and sports. Right now we have 30 plus degree programs that are bachelor's degrees that you could choose from that are divided between these categories. And in just a little bit, I'll walk you through each of these programs and tell you a little bit more about those specific degrees. But first, a little bit more about where we are located. So I mentioned that we're in Orlando, Florida. We're actually in a little town called Winter Park. I say little town, it's still pretty city-like, but it's very close to downtown Orlando. We are about 35 minutes from the theme parks, like Disney and Universal. We're about an hour and a half away from the East Coast beaches and about 2 hours away from the West Coast Gulf beaches. So lots of beautiful sunshine outdoor activities to do. One of my favorite things is all of our beautiful natural Florida springs. You can find a lot in the Orlando area, and just by venturing 20 to 40 minutes outside of Full Sail's campus. One thing that I love about our location is that we are super close to UCF, which is one of the largest universities in the United States. It's the University of Central Florida, and also Rollins College. And because of that, there's so much going on that college students can get involved with. Lots of events, lots of fun things to do. So it's very, very fun and entertaining to be a college student in the Central Florida region. And we've had a lot of successful graduates come from Full Sail University. I guarantee you that throughout time you have heard of at least one project that our graduates have worked on, or many. You can see down at the bottom of the screen that these are some projects that our graduates have been involved with through the years. One of my favorite is Star Wars, or one of my favorites, rather. We had Full Sail graduates that have worked on a lot of the Star Wars movies all the way back through the early 2000s, but one of the ones that I really love is The Force Awakens that came out just a couple of years ago. One of our alumni, his name is Jack Geckler. He's an animator for ILM, and he actually did a lot of the animation for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. So the Star Wars nerd in me loves that. But graduates have worked on a lot of things, and they've worked for big companies and also smaller indie companies. So you could go on to work in kind of whatever field feels comfortable for you. But this past year, back in February, we had 50 of our graduates that were credited on, this one is Grammy nominated projects, so for the music they worked on. We had 148 grads that were credited on 24 Oscar nominated projects back in February, and this is from the Academy Awards. And then last December, we have Game Awards every December. Last year in 2019, we had over 200 Full Sail grads that worked on Game Award winning projects, including the Game of the Year. So if you are someone that is very interested in games or music or movies, it's possible that you could one day, work your way up in the field and work on one of these movies or games or music and win a big award for that. So that's always a possibility. But it all starts with a dream, and it all starts with taking that first step to invest in your education. And one thing, well, actually, four things that really set Full Sail apart are four of the most important aspects of our program. So I'm going to walk you through the four big ways that Full Sail University is different from other schools. And if you have any questions about that, again, you can drop those in the chat or email me at elmiller@fullsail.com. So the reasons why we're different, first of all, we structure our education in a very different kind of way. So you're probably used to universities for a bachelor's degree taking 4 years. At Full Sail, it actually takes right around 2 years to complete your entire bachelor's degree. If you are an on-campus student, it takes about 20 months. If you are an online student, it takes about 29. But either way, we're sitting right around that 2-year mark. And the way that we're able to do this is, a lot of universities, they take about 2 years to just offer you gen ed courses, things like English, math, history, all very important to learn. But for Full Sail, we like to think that it's better for you to learn the things that you actually need for your career. Tangible, hands-on experience to get you prepared for that job. So from the first day you're a student, you're jumping headfirst into classes that are relevant for your education and for your future job. You will have an English class, a college math class, a writing class, and in your particular field, there's a type of history. So maybe, art history if you're an animation student, or mythology if you're a gaming student. But most of the classes are geared directly toward your future job. And that's super important. You're not wasting your time with things that, aren't going to help you in your career. Next up, you see start every month. A lot of universities offer rolling admissions. At Full Sail, we also do. We allow you to fill out your application and apply throughout the year. But another thing is that you can actually start as a student every single month throughout the year. So that's unique to Full Sail. If you are someone who's very ambitious, let's say you graduate high school in May, if you're feeling ambitious, you could start college in June at Full Sail, or you could wait until August and start in that month, like a more traditional university. You can also wait until November, February, March, whenever you want. It's all based on your schedule and when feels comfortable for you. And again, from the time you start, you're going to be spending just about 2 years before you get that bachelor's degree. Next up, career support. At Full Sail, we not only want you to know how to do your future job by learning it in your courses, but we also want you to know how to get a future job. We want our students to graduate and be employed, so we invest a lot of time and resources into helping them become more prepared. Something that they do is that they have a weekly open office hours. This is every week on Wednesdays. And from the time you start at Full Sail, you can go in, speak to a career advisor, kind of just bounce ideas off of them, and they'll help you kind of figure out what career path you may want to take. And then in the last 3 months of your degree program, you're working one-on-one every single week with a career advisor to do mock interviews. They're going to help you learn how to write a resume that looks really good, cover letters. They're going to teach you how to network and market yourself, write a little elevator pitch to tell employers who you are and what you do. And through this career support, graduates go on to work in the field that they want to work in. And whenever they graduate, they can actually come back and work with our career advisors throughout time, just in case they ever want to change their job or if they need help in some aspect of their career. So we not only support you as a student, but also for the rest of your life as an alumni. And one more thing with that is that students can actually come back to Full Sail after they graduate and audit classes, which is basically sitting in on classes and relearning them. So that way they can refresh themselves and relearn things in their industry that they may have forgotten about. I know I've been talking about this for a minute, but I just want you to know that that's important because a lot of these entertainment careers, they deal a lot with technology, right? So if you go to college in 2020 and you learn how to operate a camera in 2020 for film, in 2030, you're going to be using a whole different range of equipment. So you might want to come back and relearn that so that way you're relevant. So that's why we offer course auditing, and that is always, always free for our Full Sail graduates. So something to keep in mind, that's another unique aspect of Full Sail. And lastly, this kind of relates to career development, that each of our students works on a portfolio through the course of their program. Actually, each program has its own unique 7 portfolio projects. You do them every couple of months, and these showcase the skills that you've been learning. When you graduate, you have this collection of portfolio pieces that you can show employers that you're trying to apply for their jobs. And you can show the collection and say, okay, these are other things I'm good at. These are the skills that I can bring to the table. This is why you should hire me, and this is tangible proof. So that's very important as you're going out into the industry, especially in jobs like music production, animation, or game development. You're definitely going to want to have a portfolio to show employers. I'm going to talk about Project Launchbox. If you will, excuse me, I'm going to take a quick sip of water. All right. Log that on the internet forever. So Project Launchbox is Full Sail University's technology package the students receive. This is a separate from tuition cost, but it can be rolled into financial aid. And all of this technology that you see is a discounted education price through Full Sail and our partners. Each of our degree programs has a little bit different of a Launchbox package. And this is going to include a laptop, and then any software, hardware, or equipment that you would need to be successful in your program. So this right here is for music production or recording arts, one of our music degrees. You can see that they receive an Apple MacBook Pro. And then also you can see at the bottom left, they receive a 32 gigabyte iPad. They also include Pro Tools as software, Logic Pro, a lot of different music softwares here. And then as far as equipment goes, a Sennheiser mic, Sennheiser headphones, microphone cable. So lots of different things that they would need in order to create music. The next one here, you can see this is for a gaming program. The laptop they receive is different. They get an MSI GE Raider laptop right now. And the reason why the laptop's different for our gaming programs is because they have to have more hard drive space to be able to run these gaming engines. But as far as software goes, you can see that they have MS Visual Studios Pro. As far as equipment, they get a gaming backpack, and a Samsung Galaxy tablet. So a little bit different for all degree programs, and you get to keep this technology. So once you graduate, all of this is yours. You can use it as a student to not only do your classes, but also do freelance projects. And then you can also use it once you graduate for your career. All right, next up, a little bit about our student life. When we are not closed down because of a pandemic, we have a lot going on our campus. Student clubs are a way that students can fit in and get to know people that have similar interests. Beyond our clubs, just something that I want to highlight is that students on campus really find that they are with like-minded people. If you are a full sail student, then you are somebody who is driven and just passionate about the degree program and the future career that you want. And everybody else at Full Sail is also like that. So you're going to find people that inspire you, that motivate you, that understand your dreams and goals. And that to me is one of the most special parts of campus. But if you want to get a little bit more granular with that, more specific to your degree program or just your interests, then you'll find those people that are more like you in these clubs that we offer. One that I love to talk about is our Armada esports team. So I'm actually going to highlight that for just a minute. A couple of years ago, we built what's called the Fortress on our campus. And right now, the Fortress is the largest esports arena on a college campus in the United States. So still very excited about that. You can see it here, some of our players on the wall. Our athletes. Right now, we play about 10, or sorry, compete in about 10 to 12 different esports competitions. We play with other colleges and then also internationally. And this is actually something that if you are a gamer and you're interested in competing, you could try out as an incoming student and possibly receive a scholarship to compete with our Armada team. If you are a high school student, if you are a sophomore, junior, freshman, you're not graduating this year, well, I mean, even if you're a senior, actually, usually every semester we do some sort of gaming tournament. We're actually in the process of wrapping up the signups for one that we're doing this fall. We'll also be doing a gaming tournament in the spring. So keep your eye out. This is a fun way to win some prizes and possibly scholarships to attend Full Sail. All right, so far we've talked a little bit about our degree programs. I told you about things that set Full Sail University apart, talked a little bit about our graduates and about our technology packages and a little bit about our clubs and things that happen on campus. Now I want to spend a little bit of time walking you through each of our degree programs. Then at the end, I will take a little bit to break this down again and then take any questions that you have. And then I'm going to show you a quick video of some projects that our graduates have worked on. So first of all, we're going to start with music and recording. So if anyone's interested in music, this is a great place to come. Music is actually Full Sail's kind of life force. We started off as a recording arts program in the back of a van in Ohio, so right next door to Pennsylvania, back in 1979. Our founder, John Phelps, he had this dream of creating a recording art kind of like a summer camp, which he did in this band. It was called the Dream Machine, which kind of ties in with our motto, if you're serious about your dream. And from there, they moved down to Winter Park, started a real recording arts degree program that eventually became a fully recognized and accredited degree program. And we have just grown and grown from there. So music is the start of all of this. At Full Sail, we have a recording arts degree, a music production degree, a music business degree. If you're interested in music, but maybe don't play an instrument, maybe you want to be a tour manager or something like that, you could do music business. And then we also have a show production program, which is one that I find fascinating. Show production is all about live events. So you can see here, in some of these videos, they're setting up microphones for a stage, or even setting up the stage and lighting and things like that. That's show production. It's all about learning how to create live events. And one job that I think is super, super cool in show production is that you could be a stage designer. Maybe you've been to a concert with like a crazy wild stage with all kinds of lights and backgrounds and effects. That could be you. Our next degree is gaming, or a degree category, and we have 3 programs. We have game art, so all the visuals. We have game design, and then game development. Each of these programs ends up dealing with one of these areas. So game art is going to be animation. Game development would be programming. Game development is learning how to basically create the engines that a game's going to run in. You're creating the universe that the game would exist in. Then we have game design, which also deals with a bit of coding. This is going to also include things like level design, a little bit about character movement, things like that. And then also maybe a little bit of writing for a game, dialogue writing. There's a lot that goes into game design. And then also we learn about business. Without business, you don't learn how to market your game and actually make money from creating it. So All of our gaming programs work together to learn these things. And actually, in the last 5 months of students' programs, they work in teams of usually 4 or 5 to create a game from scratch. And that team's going to have an animator, a programmer, a designer, and they are going to create a game. So whenever you graduate, you can actually say, in the last 5 months of my program, I made a game from scratch. And you can tell that to employers that are looking to hire you. Next up, we have art and design. So for my artists and for my people that maybe love art, but think, I can draw a stick figure, but that's about it. One thing that I love about Full Sail's art programs is that they start at a very base level. So you learn how to draw pencil and paper, basic level 2D art. And then you slowly work your way to doing some 3D modeling with clay and different actual fabric and material pieces. So that's what you can see these students doing here. They have first created their character on paper. You can see it behind him. And then they're going in and learning how to model this character. After they've done all of that, then and only then do they learn how to do it digitally on the computer through a Wacom tablet or something like that. So they learn all the steps, that way they can learn all the steps in the process of creating a character or a background. And the art programs that we have right now are graphic design, digital art and design, computer animation, which is similar to game art, but focuses on film and cartoons. And then we also have game art. One thing that I want to highlight is for our digital art and design program, it's a lot of 2D and 3D art, including graphic design, motion graphics, but our digital art and design students also learn how to do user interface design, so learning how to create websites, which I think is very, very cool and relevant for lots of jobs in today's society. In our art programs, and actually all across our degree programs, we use a lot of Adobe software. So if you are not already familiar with Adobe, I recommend checking it out. One free resource if you are an artist or are interested in graphic design, it's called Adobe Spark. I recommend checking that out. Excuse me again, sorry about that. But as a student, you would be using a lot of Adobe, and we actually have something called the Adobe Creative Jam. It's a little contest that we have on campus just to have students kind of practice and compete with each other to see what they can do with the software, and they can win some pretty cool prizes. Next up, we have film. Film is also one of our, next to music, is one of our more popular degree programs, one of our most well-known. Oops, excuse me, I had to adjust my computer for just a second. But in our film program, it's very special because students, they're not learning how to act, basically. They might do a little bit of acting, but they are learning everything behind the scenes. And when I mean everything, or when I say everything, I mean everything. Students start with pre-production. So everything that's going to happen before you even pick up a camera. They're going to learn how to write a script, learn how to scout a location and fill out the paperwork that they need to legally film at a site. They're going to learn how to create props or build a set. We actually have an entire soundstage on campus that's just full of heavy machinery like saws and things like that that they can actually physically build sets, put together walls, paint them, all that good stuff. Students also learn how to do special effects makeup, a bit of costume design, and again, all of the pre-production. Then once they have that mastered, they go into production. They learn how to operate the cameras and the microphones and direct things that are happening while they are on set. After that, they learn all the post-production. So they're gonna learn how to edit both the video and the audio. For a movie, they'll learn sound re-recording if they need to go in and add dialogue. They'll learn special effects if they need to add some explosions or something like that. And so by the time students graduate, they have really had their hand in practicing any job that they would find out in the film industry. So when they graduate, they can take on really any sort of job. And this year, along with many other years in the past, Full Sail has been a sponsor of the Florida Film Festival. Maybe you have a film festival in Pennsylvania that you are aware of. These are great opportunities for aspiring filmmakers to get their work out there in the world. And students from Full Sail love to enter in this competition. And at a film festival like this, if you do really well, sometimes it can go on, your film could go on to do well at a festival like Sundance or the Cannes Film Festival in France. So this would be, if you're a filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker, this could be something that you might enjoy being involved in as a Full Sail student. Next up, we have technology. Technology in the world is ever changing, and so are our degree programs. We're always trying to add new programs, that way we can keep up with the demands of the industry. So within the last probably 4 months, we've shifted our degree programs a lot. So I'm going to try to rattle these off the top of my head, but we do have 5 technology degree programs. Right now, we have a computer science program. We have a mobile app development program. We have an information technology program. We have a brand new program called cybersecurity, which we've had students asking us for about a decade to add that, and we finally have it. So cybersecurity, I'm very excited about. And then we also have simulation and visualization, which is one of my absolute favorite programs at Full Sail's campus. These students are learning a lot of 3D fabrication, robotics, and virtual reality. So a lot of these videos that you see in the background here are students from our Sim and Viz program, as we call it. They're learning how to not only create these robotic softwares and things like that, but also how to program for virtual reality equipment. And they actually make some virtual reality games. You can see this platform here is a simulation of like a roller, or not a roller coaster, but a theme park ride. If you were ever at Universal and rode the Harry Potter ride, that kind of moves you all back and forth. They learned how to program that. And a while back, they actually had that set up in a room, and it was designed to look like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. And you could sit in that fake Millennium Falcon and play a VR game that had you chasing a enemy ship through the galaxy. So that's something that's very, very cool, at least in my opinion, on campus. And if you're interested in virtual reality, definitely a program that you can check out. All right, just had to check the time. We have 20 minutes left, so plenty of time to finish going through this, show you the video, and then take any questions. So next up, we have media and communications. Media is huge in the world, especially if you are a person that's passionate about getting the truth out to people. So we do have a couple of programs. We have one called Media Communications that deals a lot with journalism, both digital and print. And then it deals hugely with social media management and marketing. We also have a digital marketing program. And we also have one of my favorites, creative writing, which deals largely with script writing. Next up, we have business. And I think that sometimes business is kind of interpreted or misinterpreted rather as boring or just numbers based. But business fits in with all the rest of our wholesale programs as a hugely, hugely creative thing. Business people create new products, new companies. They literally change the game. They change the way that the world works and what people want to consume every single day. So our business students in our entertainment business program, they learn how to do a lot of different things, including event management, regular management. They do some economics and finance. They learn how to create products and sell them. And they work with all of our different program or degree programs to help them understand what business they need to be successful in selling their products. So that's a little bit about business. And then lastly, we have sports. So our sports programs are some of our newest. We have a program called Sports Marketing and Media, which deals a lot with sports marketing, journalism, even working with teams to secure sponsorships or promote events, just basically anything that would be front-facing, working with the sports team. And then we also have a program that's about, I guess, 3 years old now. It's called Sportscasting. The whole program was designed by a man named Dan Patrick. If you don't know who he is and you have parents who like sports, they probably know who he is. But Dan Patrick is one of the original ESPN Sports Center anchors. And he created this program to train the next generation of sportscasters. So if you like to be in front of the camera, you are passionate about sports, that may be a program that's open for you. All right, so that brings me to the end of talking about our degree programs. I am going to skip this next slide. I forgot to take it out, but today is actually the deadline for an esports tournament that we're hosting. I mentioned earlier that we'll be hosting another one of these in the spring, so if you're a gamer, just keep your eye out for that. We do have behind the scenes tours. These are open houses every month. So as far as tours go, this is the biggest one. This would be a very cool way to spend a couple hours on the weekend and learn not only about Full Sail, but also a little bit more about the program that most interests you. At this tour, you do a tour of campus, of course, but then you break into groups. And if you are a aspiring filmmaker, then you would go into the film group and you get to speak with film professors and maybe some current students, and you would actually do a workshop project to kind of get a feel for what the classes might be like. Same with any other degree program, you're going to be divided up by your interests, and then your parents will get to learn about things like tuition, scholarships, financial aid, all of that other stuff while you are broken up into your degree program. So definitely encourage you to check out our behind the scenes tour, have your parents join you. We also have daily tours that are about an hour long every day at either 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And my colleague David does those. They do a very good job. You can find those you can find that or find the behind the scenes tour information by just doing a quick Google search of Full Sail virtual tours, or you can go to our website and click on our virtual tours tab. This past Sunday, yesterday, was the last behind the scenes tour. So the next one will be put up on the website within the next few days. Also, if you're interested in Full Sail, you wanted a little bit more practice to see what our programs would be like, I recommend that you check out Full Sail Labs. These are our summer camps and online courses that we offer. Usually Full Sail Labs camps are in person, but this year they were virtual, and I'm assuming that we'll probably be offering some virtual options in the future. But each year we have some Full Sail Labs camps for ages 7 through 13, and then 13 through 17. So usually late elementary to middle school age, and then a high school age group altogether. This is a great way to learn and practice things like filmmaking or game design or art. This past year, we had an entire program all about Minecraft design. So definitely check that out if you are a high school student and you're interested in just a little practice or a fun summer camp. If you are a senior, be sure to go on our website and check out a lot of information about our tuition, financial aid, and then you can check out our scholarship guide. Just know that our scholarship guide changes pretty much every semester. We add new ones based on future start dates. Historically, starting in November, we've offered one called the Creative Minds Scholarship. And last year, this scholarship was up to $25,000, which is a significant chunk of tuition. So it hasn't been released yet, but again, historically, we've had it every year. So that is one, if you're a senior, to keep your eye on. And usually the opening for that is in November, and it closes right around the end of February. So definitely check that out. Check out our other scholarships as well. Usually they're stackable, and you can also usually bring in outside scholarships too if you have any through your school or your community. Full Sail is also very active on social media. You can check us out on Instagram. We usually have a lot of contests, which I'll actually talk about one in just a minute. I recommend checking out our YouTube channel. This is not only a cool way to learn about what's happening on campus, but it's also a fantastic way to learn about what our graduates have gone on to do. There's an entire playlist on there that's called Graduate Stories that'll introduce you to some of our Hall of Fame graduates that have done really, really well in their field. And you can kind of learn how they ended up at Full Sail and then how they ended up in their dream job after graduating. So I just mentioned a second ago that we use Instagram a lot and we do some contests. This is one that we're currently doing. So if you have Instagram, go around your house and find all the things that inspire you. Maybe that is like on the top, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and your children, or below that, maybe you love to play GameCube and read books and I don't know, this kind of look like pixie sticks now. I'm sorry, never mind. These are colored pencils. And then like the Legend of Zelda patch. Go around, find the things that you love that inspire you to be creative. Put them all in a layout like you see, and then go on Instagram and use the hashtag FullSailOnTour, and you'll be entered into our weekly competition to win a prize, some Full Sail swag. So we've gone over a lot today. Maybe you heard of Full Sail before. Maybe this is the first time you ever heard of us. But if you are someone that's interested in pursuing one of these entertainment careers, I highly recommend you take the next step and speak with our admissions team. They not only are a wealth of information, but they also love to just help you figure out who you want to be in the future. Our admissions team will talk you through any questions that you have. And even if you arrive at the answer that Full Sail isn't right for you, they are just happy to help you kind of figure out what path you should take next. So highly recommend speaking with them. You could do so by scanning this QR code or following the link filling out the information request form, and they would be in touch with you within the next few days. You can always take your own initiative and go straight to our website, look up the phone number, give us a call, or fill out an application through our website. I'll put that up again in just a minute, but to close us out, we do have about 10 minutes left, and this video will take 3 minutes, so I'm going to play it. This is a collection of different projects that our graduates have worked on in the past couple of years. So I hope that you enjoy this, and when it's over, I will take any questions that you have, and then stay here until the time is out in case any questions come up. So thank you for letting me speak so far, and I hope you enjoy this video.
One more. Oh, yeah.
Not a word.
That was awesome!
So sorry guys, my computer just decided to tell me that I had a Zoom update, so we'll get us back to the right spot here. So sorry about that. This is right about where we left off. Pick right back up.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what.
You gotta run and don't look back.
So many people who dare to take on problems work with IBM.
A lot of high-class people out there that's looking down on me.
Bring the outside in.
Schultz is there and caught it!
We teach girls to shrink themselves.
So that is an abbreviated version of our graduate reel. There we go. Put this back up. An extended version on the Full Sail YouTube channel if you want to see a little bit more about what our grads have worked on in recent years. And as you can see, those are just a couple of projects, but they span so many areas of the entertainment industry. Movies, animated movies, music, live music tours, big companies like NASA, Google, IBM. So there is so much out there that our graduates have done, and so much potential for our future graduates to go out and even exceed what has already been done. So I hope today that this inspired you to pursue your creative dreams, and if not, then at least to just look a little bit further into them. I do encourage you to ask any questions that you have. If you can't think of any today, you can always email us to me. Again, it's elmiller@fullsail.com. If you do have a question, please take a second to drop that into the chat. And again, you can take some time to scan this QR code and fill out the information request form to get in touch with our admissions team. So I'll leave this up on the screen, but that is the end of what I have to present to you today. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Katie, thank you so much for hosting us through PACAC, and I appreciate all of your time and hope to see you on campus eventually. So thank you.
All right, fantastic. Emily, if you would like, I can wrap us up now. If you want to wait a few minutes to see if questions trickle in, let me know.
All right, I just stopped sharing my screen. So sure, if anybody has any questions, you can definitely take them. You have a puppy? I'm sure anyone that was listening heard, but earlier in the presentation, someone opened my front door and my dog started barking as well. So that's that work from home life.
He's terrible.
All right, I'm going to assume that since we left a little bit of time that maybe there are any questions now. So it's totally fine. Again, if you have any in the future, please just email those to me. Yeah, thank you so much, Katie.
My pleasure. And with that, I can go ahead and do a very quick wrap up on tonight. So, of course, a huge thank you to everyone for joining us, our great presenters, as well as our audience today. When you close this window, there's a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we really do appreciate any feedback that you can provide. As I said at the beginning, this is one of our many sessions being hosted. We would love to see you back, so please feel free to check out the schedule and sign up for any additional sessions at pacac.org, pacac.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find the session's recordings as well as all of our other session recordings at the same website, pacac.org. And with that, thank you so much. And hey, have a great night.
Thank you. You too, Katie. Bye, everyone.